Hello and welcome. Happy day to Your Gift of the Present. This is class number 2 in a 4-series class, and I'm your host, Super Dave, the Director of Training with Best Life Creation Society. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is really powerful. I know that those that were here participating on last week's class, or whether you listened to the recording, we talked about the power of being in the present moment. And we talked about how it's connected with emotions. And we talked about different techniques on how to stay in the present. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about here today in a major way is one of the things that can potentially draw us back from the present moment, and also how we can work with it and connect with the thing that's always in the present moment, which is inner being. And that thing that potentially can hold us back from the present moment is the mind. But it doesn't mean the mind is a bad thing. It means the mind is a wonderful thing. And we're going to expand upon why that's the case. So again, hello and welcome. Everyone that's joining in. Hello, Pauline. Hello, Bodram. Hello, Breed. Hello, Valerie. Hi. So I see a bunch of other names and faces here too. Hello, hello.
Looks like Michelle and Trent. Hello,
hey,
hello.
Michelle. Hey, Trent. Hello, hello. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. So welcome, welcome. Happy day, happy Saturday, and welcome. So let's get started with this because this is going to be so awesome. So hey, Tracy.
Hey, hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi, Tracy.
Awesome.
So this is really, really powerful because this is such a cool thing. And for those that are members of Best Life Creation Society, some of this is going to seem like review, but there's one little thing I'm adding today that hasn't been added before. So, very, very cool. Because this is such powerful data. And I'll explain it like this. We talked about last week how when we're in the present moment, generally speaking, it's because we're feeling good. And we're generally feeling good because we're in the present moment. Now, I notice I'm saying generally. I'm not saying make this a blanket statement and saying that it's always going to be this case, because maybe there's a passing of a loved one, or there's some sort of upset or something like that. But recognize this and consider this. Those emotions are coming in not because you're feeling good in the present. It's because you might be reflecting on something in the past. And so when we can really go, okay, this is good. Like even if someone passes away, moving into that space of gratitude, and then finally that space of appreciation of how appreciative you were to live with this person, and how appreciative you were to have this person be with you, and how appreciative you were of all the beautiful lessons that they've taught you in this moment. Now you're back in the present moment. You are feeling good. You're in that beautiful present moment. You're feeling good, and you're feeling good because you're in the present. So, but we have this beautiful thing that we carry around with us in the physical experience called the mind. And it's wonderful. However, I would love you guys to take some notes on this because there's some very powerful basics regarding the mind. And there's some powerful basics regarding inner being too. But think of inner being as like, and I've got some notes along with inner being too, but a real easy way to cap inner being is think of it as something that loves you no matter what. It loves you unconditionally. It loves you if you have a bad hair day. It loves you if you're yelling at it. It loves you if you're, stressed. It loves you if you're in any vibration below satisfaction and above, or excuse me, below satisfaction. So just consider that that's that piece of you that always unconditionally loves you. So it's all perfect. It's all perfect. It's all dandy. It's all good. It's all gravy. But here's the perfect starter point for this, and it's this. Our minds are wonderful, okay? I just want to put that out there right now. Our minds are wonderful. There's a whole bunch of things that they are doing, but there's some stuff that when we understand what the mind does, we can start to strengthen it so it has this connection with this unlimited piece of us that I said that we hold within us. And so here's the first part. The first part is that you have to remember that initially, when there's been this disconnection from inner being, it still thinks in the past. It's going, yeah, but what if this happens? And what if that takes place? And what if that's happening? So it's initially thinking in the past or the future. So it's thinking about what it hopes doesn't happen again, or what it hopes doesn't happen that has not yet happened. It's like, yeah, but you never know. I mean, because like, what if this takes place? And what if that takes place? And the very simple solution to help the mind is by gently saying, when a mind comes up with any of these kind of computations, thank you, mind. Because that's what it's doing. Initially, it's thinking in the past and in the present. It doesn't just yet realize that when it can be in the present moment by being connected with inner being, that now it can also start to think in the present. So that's the first little piece to consider. And I'm going to say all these things, and then if anyone has any questions, because the other notes may answer some of these questions that are popping out first, okay? And then if there is still questions after it, we've got time. It's all perfect. So that's the first piece, okay? So initially thinks in the past / future, okay? Here's the other one. This one's even funnier, in my opinion, than the last one. Initially, it behaves like an arsonist and a detective at the same time. So here's what I mean by this. Here's what I mean by this. And I'm getting a little bit of background noise, so if you can mute your line, that'd be fantastic. So that way everyone can hear. Initially, what it's doing is it's trying to help you, but at the same time potentially scolding you or reprimanding you or criticizing you. So tell me if this sounds familiar, guys. Maybe it's like a confidence thing, right? And someone says, go up and talk to that person, but it's not someone, it's actually your mind saying, go up and talk to that person. And then you do, and then the mind might say something like, why'd you say that? That's the example of arsonist and detective. So it's the one that's trying to start the fires, but it's also at the same time trying to put out the fires and being like, oh man, I don't know where this fire keeps coming from. Oh man, anyone see where this fire is coming from? Oh geez, there's another one. Who keeps starting these fires? It's kind of funny when you can look at that and laugh. And good, I see people laughing and giggling and kind of smiling because it's so silly when you can see it from that viewpoint. But again, this is initially. It doesn't always stay this way. When you start creating this connection from mind to inner being, it won't do that anymore because it won't be looking for something to find itself to be busy. Okay? So there's that so far. Next note. The primary purpose of the mind, though, is that it's a transmitter and receiver of your frequency, your energy, and your vibration. So guess what, guys? If the mind is feeling stressed, guess what's also feeling stressed? You. And if you are feeling stressed, guess where that energy is transmitting? Stress. And guess what's being received? Stress. So it's so awesome. It's so awesome to know this and have an awareness of this because, again, without putting any prejudgment on the whole thing, you can basically not have to focus or put your attention on that because it's just good to know what you now know. So I'm looking to see if there's nods and people. Let's see here, 248. Give me 1 second here. Good. Okay, perfect. All right, back to where I was. Okay, so now we got to go, well, why is the mind doing this? Why is the mind doing all these things that pretty much seem, probably from the viewpoint, kind of detrimental? It's because it's your most loyal friend and it's doing everything to keep you safe. But think of it like this. If it's only thinking in the past and only potentially fretting about the future, it may come up with wacky computations. But that doesn't mean the mind is a bad thing. It's only going based on the data that it has. Does that resonate with you guys? Can you guys feel that? Okay, good. Seeing some nods. Okay, good. Plus, here's the last little piece, and then I'll open it up for any questions. It's this. This is the new piece. So besties, this is a new piece. The mind is always looking to expand its connection to inner being, but if it's not connected to inner being, it can only look to the past and the future. Right. And I saw a big open mouth there. That was cool, Paul. You were like, oh, yeah. So, this is the mind. And this is the power that we have stored in our head, or rather stored with us in this physical experience. So yeah, I would love to hear if you guys have any comments or questions or anything on that so far, and we'll just we'll expand from there. So anyone have anything? Cool, I'm gonna check some stuff. Oh, hey, Bottom.
G'day. Uh, this Monday, I has one exam very hard, and
Uh-huh.
because of that exam, I left master degree before 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And that I passed first level, and I was in the last level in exam. And I work very hard in that full 20 days intensive, and maybe I read all that books for 15 times and more, and write in a description anything. But when I go in an exam, I must wait to finish question test others before me, and then I start to make question for me about the title of the exam, and I forget anything. And then just like a magic case, I remember you when you said thank you, mind. And then,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
and then I'm trying to help another friend there and say that, and he was in the same position like me, and
Yeah.
he said I forget anything.
Yeah.
But if I said him, hey, it's time to thank our mind because the mind is angry with us because we forget to thank, I will say, oh, Bayram is learning too much, and he's making too much a degree, and also have a family, also a job, and he sort to be crazy. And I said, I start to work with myself, okay? And
Yeah.
then I said that many times, many times, and then also I asked God to back my memory because I said I not have control in my memory now, and that the source helped me in that moment when I go inside to exam, and I explained my professor said I learned too much, but I'm afraid I forget anything. But when she make me question, I just write a question, and just I see my hand like writing, and I answer, and I then I write, and I read, and I'm
Woohoo!
writing, my hand writing, like, and do anything. And
Yes.
when the
Yes.
professor asked me something, I just make like a fast food, anything. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. And I do anything. And I always ask her, "Do you have any question, please?" and she said, "Yo, you this question you are so great." And we follow in the next question, and also in another question, automatic. And you know how much minutes I was there? Just 20 minutes. And my friend before me,
Wow.
we
Wow.
was 1 hour. I finished exam for 20
Wow.
minutes. You know,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, I swear. Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Clapping with one hand.
and
That was
when you
so
and
good.
when you said that the mind when you said that you open the mind, I said, wow, yes, that's why, because I know many people when they not use the mind for new things, for to do something, to learn something, or
Uh-huh.
language, or to read books, or something else, or to do something, or to
Yeah.
to work something. They always talk about history,
Yeah. That's right.
talk about the painy moments.
Right.
And said, oh, I remember this moment, I remember this moment. Yes, of course, because I always ask myself why they are in this position,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because they are still negative, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do nothing else new, and they
Mm-hmm.
just talk about the past,
Mm-hmm.
you
Initially.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then many times when I meet them, I know the history what they want to tell. And I
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, you want to repeat again this history? I heard this for 100 times ago.
Right. Right.
And that is a very big problem because people don't know to also, and me before this what we are doing now, I didn't know to use my resource
Now you
or
do.
mine.
Wow.
And I didn't know to connect them. They are in my body, but I didn't know strategy how to use it. That
And now you do.
You're so brilliant, Byram.
you
So
know,
Awesome.
inspiring.
and that is very big problem. And many people need need to learn this, to learn
Agreed.
it, but slowly, because
Slowly.
I am afraid they don't understand, because that is very high level of mathematics.
It's about creating it in a simple language. So you're right. You're very, very right. And the deal is that that's what this is designed to do. And for people that want to understand how to create that connection, when they become a member in Best Life, like most of you guys are, then you understand how this connection is to be formed. But not only is the connection formed, but the establishment of it happens, which means that once it's established, it can't be unestablished.
Yeah.
Like once that connection is really taken place, you can't not have that connection.
Yeah.
Like it's like we're always connected to source, always, but sometimes it's pinched off, right? And the mind initially, I'm using quotes on it, initially will pinch it off because even though it's trying to look for that connection with source, if it's not in the present moment, it can't find source. And there's a very, very specific reason as to why. And so it's this, Bottom and everyone, it's this. It's because inner being, you might want to write this down, inner being only vibrates at vibrations or feelings or energies or frequencies of satisfaction and above. It only vibrates at that. So if the mind is vibrating at less than satisfaction, it can't hear inner being. But oftentimes, most of the time, the mind thinks inner being has abandoned me. No, inner being has not abandoned you or the mind. It simply can't hear it because it does not vibrate at those frequencies.
Whoa.
So good.
Great.
So good.
So strong. This is so strong.
Yeah.
That is like a, for example,
That's why we.
can I explain by my profession, like engineer? For example, we have one location with houses, and they don't have a light,
Mm-hmm.
but they have the electricity in all of houses,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the owner of houses, they forget to make on the electricity.
Turn it on.
That
Yeah,
was-
exactly.
Yeah, to turn on.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
And that is,
Yes.
they must to make on. And then house have a light and have electricity, and they can to use the TV set and whatever, internet, anything. But if they
That's
don't have
exactly right.
electricity, they are closed without information. And that is a problem. Just one problem. What is that? And that is solved. To know the place to turn on electricity.
Yes.
Nothing else.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Bottom.
Thank you.
That's exactly right. You're welcome, buddy.
So
And
good.
that's fantastic too, because Abraham even has the analogy of you don't vacuum your house with it being not plugged in. You plug in the vacuum. So when we're feeling good, when we're in the present moment, when we're understanding this beautiful gift of being in the present, that means that we're usually at those vibrations of satisfaction and above. And so because of it, now we're automatically connected, i.e. plugged in to the beautiful inner being, to our beautiful, wonderful, unconditionally loving, unlimited power source. Just like you said, it's like a house doesn't do a whole lot of good, especially if you have like running water and a TV and a stove that runs on electricity if you don't turn on the electricity. So I love that you said that, Bidram. That's so perfect.
So good.
Thank you.
I have one example that
Sure.
is new country.
Yeah.
That is, I want to try to remember the name of that. That is the person who make the lamp of electricity for first time in the world.
Oh, Thomas Edison?
Yeah, Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
That is, how much is how much is powerful the love, and that done just for love of his mother.
Yeah.
Because his mother sacrificed anything that his son never understand, that the school take his boy at home because he's not able and he's not concentrated in a lesson.
That's right. That's right. I remember this.
He said, "You are so strong for
Yes.
that school.
Yes.
I want to learn you because they don't know to learn you. And she worked very hard with him, and he make now the light. Anyone in the world have a light from the Thomas Edison? Thanks.
That's exactly right.
Love. That is the reason of
Exactly.
love. Because
That's
he
exactly
was
right.
afraid. His mother was ill and sick, and he want to be careful about her, and he was thinking about how she can get up and to have just one click and to have the light to go in bathroom or to drink water, whatever.
Exactly.
So
That's
You know?
exactly right.
And
Yeah,
because of that
absolutely.
love, we now all feel that love.
That's exactly right. We're
Yes.
experiencing it right now, even
Yeah.
through the phone, because this is
Yeah.
all tied into electricity. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. And that is mind and love. If that
Yes.
connect with heart, mind, that is strong love, and that can make a strong magic things.
Yes, exactly.
Always,
So
always.
Exactly.
true. Always.
Exactly. Exactly.
Always.
Always. And I'm gonna say this again, because what you said there's brilliant, so that everyone can really take this in again. Guys, consider this. We're talking about inner being, right? We're talking about being in the present moment. The story that Bauer spoke of was Thomas Edison's mother was so connected to her inner being that even though the teachers said that Thomas Edison would be a failure and that he wouldn't improve and that he had, attention deficit disorder and all these kind of things, his mother was so smart to see his brilliance and to be connected to her brilliance to go, you can do anything, Thomas. You can absolutely achieve anything and everything. And so it just goes to show that when we're connected with inner being, the power and the amazingness that we can grant and give to others too. So
Mhm.
I love that you
Yeah.
shared that, Bottom. Very beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and even as a continuation, how her connectedness, her shining in that way transferred over to her son, to Thomas, right?
Exactly.
And he was able to come from a space of connection and create something that's changed all of
Exactly.
our lives.
All of our lives.
So
And
amazingly.
still is.
So amazingly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Brilliant.
this is perfect too, because Bottom kind of gave like the perfect segue, guys, into the next half of what we're going to talk about with the class, which is inner being. So this is terrific and awesome and amazing. So I wanted to shift gears on this a little bit. So let's see here. So we're going to talk about inner being now. So feel free to take notes on this part. It's real simple. Here it is. So first part with inner being is it loves you unconditionally. It loves you unconditionally. Again, I'll just recap. Just like I said at the beginning of class, it loves you when you have a bad hair day. It loves you when you're at your worst. It loves you when you don't have makeup on. It loves you when you have had a rough day or a rough year or a rough decade. It loves you unconditionally, which means that it loves you without condition. So that's the first little piece. The next piece is that it is your connection to unlimited potential and all that is. It is. So think of it like this. The mind, guys, the mind is really good at looking at what's right in front of itself, like what's right on the radar. But beautiful inner being is that beautiful tapping into all the 99% of everything that's off of our radar. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Think of those moments when you felt so good. And when you were feeling so good, and then magic happened over here, and magic happened from over here, and magic happened from up here. And all these things came in from all around you that there's no way that the mind could have even thought of. And there's no way that you even had expected that something like that would happen, but then it did. But the magic is moving into an even more ideal scene where not only are you excited about the things that are off your radar, you're expecting it. You're in that space of beautiful, positive expectation because you're like, well, yeah, of course. I'm always connected to everything that is. I'm always connected to all that is around me and all that ever will be. This is fantastic. You know, Abraham was saying that it's really funny because they said if you ever have dinner with Esther, one of the things that really ticks her off more than anything is having dinner and trying to have that person teach to Abraham. Because Abraham has to laugh and she's like, let's just eat, because she feels she's connected to inner being and, you know, unlimited potential. So don't be going, oh, there's something I want to teach Abraham. Abraham's like, or Esther's like, let's just eat. Let's just eat. We're connected. let's just eat. Let's just feel good. You know, I don't know. Let's just feel good. So that's the next piece. And then here's the other one. I said this earlier, but it's this: only vibrates at vibrations of satisfaction and above. So let me just throw a bunch of those vibrations out there, because the thing is that you don't need to be feeling, there's this rumor out there that to be in the present moment, that you need to be feeling excited or that you need to be feeling spectacular. No, I'm going to dispel that right now. You only need to be feeling in a vibration of satisfaction and above. And when we're feeling good, sometimes we feel better on some days or other moments than others. But as long as we're in that vibration of satisfaction and above, we are basically in the receiving mode for all the things and all the desires of our hearts that we're wanting. So some vibrations might include calmness, happiness, joy, excitement, fulfillment, understanding, knowingness, blissfulness, peacefulness, exhilaration, enthusiasm, joy, certainty, knowingness, elation. That's a good start. There's a few there. And here's what's so exciting. There's more. What's so exciting is there's more. But that's what I mean. Those are the vibrations of satisfaction and above. Those are the vibrations of satisfied and above. And I would really encourage that everyone find out what is it that feels satisfying for myself. So like for me, it's teaching this class. I mean, that's way above satisfaction, but I can definitely say I'm also very satisfied teaching this class. But find the things that really satisfy you and that feel satisfying to you. And you'll know, because it's usually that feeling that just makes you go, yeah, or like, yeah, or puts a smile on your face, or just makes you go, I look at all these beautiful faces and connections around the world, people from Albania, people from Canada, people from the US. And I look at this and I go, oh, that's so satisfying. That's so satisfying. God, that's so satisfying. And so that's the space. That's the space of those vibrations of satisfaction and above. And then last thing, and then I want to open it up again for any energy or any thoughts or expansions that any of you guys have, is it's part of who you really are. I'm going to say it again. It's part of who you really are. Take that in for a second. Because it's kind of like this. I remember I heard an Abraham recently, and it said, I felt like that person was reading my mind. And Abraham's response was, well, the fact that you felt like that person was reading your mind means you had to be close to it to even have them read your mind in the first place. So take that in for a second. So what I mean by that is that this is a part of us. This inner being is a part of who we really are, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't even be able to feel this. We wouldn't even be able to experience this. There's another analogy, which is this, and Jen, I may want you to expand on this because you always do such a brilliant job of describing it. And it's, if a tree falls in the woods and no one is there to experience it, does it make a sound? It makes a vibration, but there was no one there to experience the sound. So the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is no. It needs to have those human ears there to experience the vibration of sound. So, Jen, I'd love for you to expand on this because I know it's a little bit...
It's profound, right? It's profound.
It is profound.
Right? But think of that beautiful tree. It happens. It's a vibrational occurrence. So think of all the wonderful things that are experiencing this. The soil is experiencing it in its own way. It's perceiving it. The other plants around are experiencing it. The air is experiencing it in a certain way. But in order for it to actually be recognized, that vibration to be recognized as a sound, it takes a human ear to hear it. Now, there may have been an animal that may have their own perception of sound, but it is us as the receivers that give it that life, right? When there is something, it is our receiving of it that completes it. that gives it the life, the realization or the actualization in the physical universe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps, but yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing, and it really shows how we are all part of a bigger whole, and we all hold our own space, and we are all doing our own vibrational part. Just like the soil is doing its vibrational part, the other birds, the air itself, the other plants, everything. We're all beautifully co-creating.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, so just like our inner being, because we're here and we're experiencing it, it's here. It's a part of us, you know? And so it's beautiful. And, so, oh, go ahead, Jen. Oh, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, right. I raised my hand. I know.
Go right ahead.
I'm a good student, right? But think of it this way too. If you are in, say, a group of people, right? And if there is certain vibrations there that are in a lower frequency, if you don't receive them, if you're not open to receive, say, anger or frustration, it doesn't have life, and it can actually fade. It can actually be not even fostered. So think of the potential that we each have when we are connected to our inner being to change the whole chemistry of a room, of a nation, of a family dynamic, of a relationship, of the universe as a whole, by holding in a solid space.
Yeah,
really,
exactly,
really,
Jen.
really, really powerful.
Yeah, as ourselves, you know, and how wonderful. Again, it's like another way to really accept the mind, to validate the mind, because thank you, mind, for having the freedom to transmit not just the positive vibrations, but all the vibrations. So that way I know what I don't want, so then I can move into a space of what I do want.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that without the mind. You know, like we could not physically do that without the mind, because when we're connected, you know, in the ether and not part of the physical experience, we don't need to think about how to expand, you know, to expand our business, or, you know, the guy who cut us off, or, you know, no, we have different desires. So isn't it awesome that we have something as magical as our mind, which is there to transmit the frequencies of energy and vibration, transmit and receive those energies and frequencies of vibration right here in the physical experience. I mean, when you can start to look at that, not only is it a bigger part of the whole, but how perfectly orchestrated, how perfectly designed that we come into this physical experience, knowing that we are unlimited in potential, but also that we have this beautiful physical thing, which is transmitting and receiving energy, frequency, and vibration. And that we can get to a space where, when you do the work with, you know, being a member in Best Life, but even just this little piece right here is going to help about creating it so that way the mind is starting to realize that it has a choice to connect with inner being or not. It really has the choice, because it is the transmitter and receiver of frequency, energy, and vibration. The world is just opened up to you guys.
Yeah.
Freedom.
So good. So good. And know this, when inner being and mind are connected, right? It is the mind that expands all that is. Because now mind has access to everything, and it is those new ideas and those different experiences that it has that creates the expansion.
That's right.
It is the mind that, when plugged in with inner being, opens up even more. Even more, even more, even more. That is the beautiful, brilliant, divinely guided co-creation.
Yeah.
Expanding all that is.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, guys, this is something that's very, very powerful, because when we understand what the mind is in essence designed to do, really, and instead of what has been such the idea out there in the world of harming the mind, or trying to get rid of the mind, or you know, ostracizing the mind, and instead loving it and validating it and cherishing it and accepting it for what it does, then it can move forward.
Mhm.
then it has this beautiful ability to just be like, okay, what next?
So
Be-
good.
Because the mind wants to expand and it wants to stay busy, but if it's in a space where it thinks that it needs to only operate in the past or in the future, then it's only going to go on the limited data that it's been storing and using, which again, it's no fault of the minds at all, because it's just going based off of what it's known. But what's so exciting is when you can get it connected with inner being and help it realize that it has the choice, like I said, to vibrate at those vibrations of satisfaction and above, or not. Now it can expand into amazing things.
Amazing.
And like Jen's, amazing things. And it's the one that's like going, yes, it's awesome. And I will say, from doing this work, guys, what's really powerful that I've been finding, this is just personally, when you soothe the mind long enough, personal experience, what has started happening now is the mind has started soothing me back.
Yes, 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 yes. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible what that feels like. And it is such a freeing feeling, because then it's all like, you're going, oh gosh, I still forgot I needed to do. And then the mind goes, there's plenty of time. We only operate in the present now. And I'm like, oh, yes, that's right. That's so right. That's
freeing.
so right. That's so, thank you, mind. Because now I'm not thanking it, but I'm actually thanking it for what it's already helped me with. And that's the magic, guys. That's an ideal space to start getting into. And when you can do that, you're really tapping into even more than we talked about last week, your gift of the present. So I have some stuff I want to do as far as some freedom release method, but I want to open it up first to see if you guys had any comments or questions or observation, and then we'll do a little bit of freedom release method, just like we did last week. And I'll explain what that is here in a second.
It's perfect. Perfect, Dave.
It's so
Awesome,
good.
Pauline. Awesome. Thank you.
You're
Super
welcome.
good.
Thank you. Yeah, super good.
Yeah, it is super good.
So good.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, then let's do this. I've got a few releases here, which I really feel are going to help with this connection of mind and inner being. Because you've heard this term before, which is maybe enlightenment or wholeness or oneness or completedness. Yeah. I'll say this again, from doing the work, it's exciting because it won't be like, oh, that's my mind and that's my inner being. It's just, yeah, that's me. Can you guys feel that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, wholeness. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Here is pumping me. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I'm looking. My mind is blind. I don't know. It's kind of. I'm touching, and my mind is here.
Well, thank you, mind. Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom.
Awesome, Bottom. Yeah. You. For some of you guys, you may feel it on a physical level, right? That all depends on your energetic connection. Everyone's going to be different with this, right? But I will say that the connection is there, and the connection can be strengthened, and the connection can be permanent. Yeah. Solid, foundational, established, all these different words, pick the word that feels best to you. So, yeah, so let's go ahead then, and we'll do these, few releases. So we're doing, like we did last week, the freedom release method. This is our technique that we do in Best Life Creation Society to release our brilliance, release the energy that's blocking our brilliance. And yeah, it's great. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to say a phrase, and then what I would like for you guys to do is to repeat that same phrase to yourself silently within your own mind, and then hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to blow it out through the mouth. And when you blow it out through the mouth, blow it out audibly. And yeah, we'll just do this. And it's a very, very powerful technique. And I'm doing muscle testing. I'm actually using some kinesiology while I'm doing this. And so this is all not just that sounds good, I actually have a physical thing that I'm using to double check every single thing that comes out of my mouth. So here we go. Let's do this. This will be super fun. Go ahead, everyone, and just for the sake of what we're doing here, just take a cleansing breath, just kind of like perfect. Perfect. Great. Okay. So everyone take a deep breath in and hold it. Repeat this to yourself silently. I release all blocks and barriers with my mind is beautiful. Good. 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 I'm just going to watch here for a second. I'll go a little bit slower. Okay, good. I release all blocks and barriers with allowing with my mind is beautiful. Good. I release all blocks and barriers with transmissions with my mind is beautiful. Good. I release all blocks and barriers with receiving with my mind is beautiful. Good. 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 Excellent. And one more on that. I release all blocks and barriers with any earlier similar blocks and barriers with my mind is beautiful. Good. This next one's really good for the mind. Give me 1 second. Just double check something. Choose connection. Yes. Good. Yep. Lots of yawns. Sometimes you have yawns happening with this because it just means more energy is being released. More resistance is going bye-bye. Perfect. All right. Okay. Next release. I release all blocks and barriers with happiness. With my mind gets to choose connection or not. Good. And I got another one after that. So this, just stay with me here. I release all blocks and barriers with allowing. With my mind gets to choose connection or not. Excellent. I release all blocks and barriers with abundance. With my mind gets to choose connection or not. Good. Good. And one more on that. I release all blocks and barriers with any earlier similar blocks and barriers with my mind gets to choose connection or not. Good. And then here's the next segue. So we're not just like leaving it there, of course. Yes. Okay, good. Just want to double check that. Okay, great. So deep breath in, you guys. Yep. I release all blocks and barriers with allowing. With my mind loves expansive connection. Yes. Yes. See some nods. Good. Now we're on track. Here we go. I release all blocks and barriers with pure love energy. With my mind loves expansive connection. Good. I release all blocks and barriers with happiness. With my mind loves expansive connection. Good. 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 One more on that, and then I got one more release completely. So, yep, I release all blocks and barriers with any earlier similar blocks and barriers with my mind loves expansive connection. Perfect. Okay. Just double checking. I love this experience. Oh, perfect. I love this experience. Yes. Okay. Last one here. Last release. I release all blocks and barriers with allowing, with I love this physical experience of present time. Yeah. Good.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a couple more on that one. Woohoo. Here we go. I release all blocks and barriers with expansion, with I love this physical experience of present time. Good. I release all blocks and barriers with lighthearted, with I love this physical experience of present time. Good. 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 I'll make sure everyone breathed out. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Next one. I release all blocks and barriers with connection to source, with I love this physical experience of present time. Ooh, this one just popped in my head. I release all blocks and barriers with cooperation with mind, with I love this physical experience of present time. Good. One more. I release all blocks and barriers with any earlier similar blocks and barriers with I love this physical experience of present time. Sweet.
Wow. Awesome. Woo-hoo.
Good. Good. Let's do some Phillips, and then we'll open it up. So here we go. Phillip time, guys. Last part of the freedom release method. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that my mind is beautiful. Good. 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 I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that my mind gets to choose the freedom to connect or not. Good. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that my mind loves expansive connection. Good, and I'll slow down. I apologize if I went too fast there. Good. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that I love this physical experience of present time. Good. Just a few more Phillips here. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that I can enjoy the beautiful gift of the present moment. Good. Good. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that when I am experiencing the gift of the present, I'm in that space of satisfaction and connection. Good. And one more. I'm filled with love, gratitude, and appreciation that I can be, do, and have anything and everything I want by being in the present and opening up the gifts. Woo!
Yay! Awesome, Dave. Woohoo!
So good.
Thank you, Dave.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Wow.
So awesome.
So
Cool.
awesome.
Superb.
Superb. Well,
Super.
terrific. Terrific, terrific. So, yes, see a lot of happy faces. So, yeah, guys, this is what we got here. This is your gift of the present. This is the understanding on the mind and inner being. And, you know, it's almost like once we know what has been going on, we have the choice to create something different. So I love you guys so, so much. Next week, we'll talk about some more wonderful goodies. Yeah, talking even more about how where all your power is right here, right here, right here, right here in the present moment. So I can't stress that enough. It's right here. So stay right here in the present moment. Be right here. Take inspired action and do right here. Have right here. And you will tap into the unlimitedness that is a part of you right here. So I love you guys so, so much. This is your gift of the present, week number 2. Love you guys.
Love
Love
you.
you guys.
Thank you guys.
Love
You guys
you.
are incredible. Love you, love you. Love you, everyone.
Awesome. Love
Amazing,
you so
amazing.
much. Bye-bye.
Much love to you all. Love you, love
Love
you.
you all.
Love you.
Bye. Love you
You're
so
welcome.
much. You're amazing. Love you.
Love you.